Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for a presentation on Tagalog linguistics. My name is Rico Bolos, and with me is Nikki Parker. We are excited to share our research and insights into the Tagalog language.
To start, Tagalog is an Austronesian language primarily spoken in the Philippines. It is the basis of Filipino, the national language of the Philippines. Tagalog is spoken as a first language by about a quarter of the Philippine population and as a second language by the majority. The term Tagalog comes from Taga, meaning native of, and Ilog, meaning river, reflecting its historical roots along the riverine areas. Today, it is one of 187 languages actively spoken in the country, with a concentration of speakers in Luzon, the northern region of the Philippines. This presentation will cover various linguistic aspects of Tagalog, including its phonology, phonotactics, stress patterns, and morphological processes.
In this section, we will review some of the key literature that has shaped our understanding of Tagalog linguistics. One of the foundational texts is Paul Kroger's work, published in 1993. Kroger provides an in depth analysis of Tagalog syntactic structures and grammatical relationships. Yamzon's work on Tagalog phonology focuses on the sound system of Tagalog, including its vowel and consonant inventories and their allophonic variations. John Paul Potay's study on Tagalog monosyllabic roots explores the morphological characteristics and historical development of these roots. The work by Pritchett and French in 1990 examines some of the more complex phonological processes in Tagalog, such as reduplication and stress patterns. Finally, Shachter and Otane's work is an essential resource for anyone studying in Tagalog. This comprehensive grammar covers a wide range of linguistic features and provides detailed descriptions and examples.
Now, we'll delve into the phonological aspects of Tagalog, starting with its vowel phonemes. Tagalog has a relatively simple vowel system, consisting of five contrastive vowels I, E, A, U, and O. These vowels can be categorized based on their placement within the mouth, such as front vowels I and E, central vowels A, and back vowels U and O. Each of these vowels can exhibit allophonic variations depending on their stress and position within a word. For example, the vowel I has two allophones. When I is stressed, it is pronounced as I, as in the word binti. However, when unstressed, I can be pronounced as I, as seen in the word ligaya. Similarly, the vowel U can also vary. When stressed, U is pronounced as U, as in guro. When unstressed, it can remain as U, as in sulat.
Tagalog has a diverse consonant inventory. It includes stops like p, b, t, d, k, g, and o. Fricatives such as s, h, and nasals such as and hm. Liquids which are and glides which are u and j. Noteworthy properties include the presence of the glottal stop and the tap R, which sometimes can be rolled. For example, the word puso, meaning heart, illustrates the use of the glottal stop, while tren, meaning train, shows the tap R, which is rolled.
In addition to its vowel and consonant phonemes, Tagalog also features diphthongs. Tagalog diphthongs can be classified into fronting and backing diphthongs based on their articulatory movements. Fronting diphthongs involve the glide Y, A as in reina, I as in icebox, Oy as in boyfriend, and Uy as in uy. Backing diphthongs involve the glide W, Aw as in araw, Iw as in liwanag, O as in hayop, and U as in gulo.
Phonotactics refers to the rules governing the possible phoneme sequences in a language. In Tagalog, the basic syllable structure follows the pattern CVC, where C stands for a consonant and V stands for a vowel. Here are some key points about Tagalog phonotactics. Word initial clusters can consist of a consonant followed by another consonant. For example, plato or plate starts with a cluster pl. Medial clusters can include various combinations, such as consonant semi-vowel and consonant-consonant sequences. An example is mansa, which contains the cluster ns. The word final clusters are less frequent but do occur. These clusters are often formed by semi-vowels and consonants, as in by and sandwich or sandwich. Let's look at a few illustrative examples. The word bata or child follows the pattern CVCV. The word takbo, run, follows the pattern CVC, CV. Initial position clusters include combinations like ps or pu for puede, as in tren, and cr as in cruz. And medial position clusters include entr as in for anthropologia, or ns again for mansa, and then str for maestro. And so, yeah.
It is also important to be aware of the phonotactic restrictions in Tagalog. These restrictions will dictate what combinations of sounds are permissible within the language. Possible codas in Tagalog include single consonants or consonant clusters. For example, pato, where the coda is the glottal stop, or stampung, where the coda is the velar nasal. However, there are several restrictions. Complex onset clusters beyond two consonants are not allowed. For example, you won't find initial clusters like str, in native Tagalog words. Certain consonants, such as the glottal stop, do not occur in coda position. This means that you won't find words ending in a glottal stop unless they're loanwords. Clusters occur when the second consonant is a glide resulting from the reduction of a high vowel. For instance, jan and buan. Otherwise, complex consonant onsets and codas are generally found only in loanwords from other languages.
Stress typically falls on either the penultimate or the final syllable, creating a distinction between words that might otherwise be phonetically identical. Here are some examples. The word bahay has stress on the penultimate syllable, whereas bahay, or to house, has stress on the final syllable. Vowel length is the best indicator of primary stress. For instance, tama, which means correct, contrasts with tama, to hit, where the stress and vowel length differentiate the two words. The unstressed vowels are generally not reduced, except for cases involving glides. For example, Jan or there is pronounced Jan with a glide. Buan, which is pronounced Buan, also with a glide. And so stress in Tagalog is very constructive, meaning it can create minimal pairs where the difference in meaning is solely due to stress. For example, suka, which is vinegar, versus suka, which is to vomit. Modern orthography does not typically indicate stress, although an older diacritic system was used in the past to mark stress patterns. This can sometimes make it challenging for learners to determine the correct pronunciation and meaning of words based solely on the written form.
In Tagalog, stress is not static and can shift when certain verbal suffixes are added to a word. This is known as a stress shift, and it occurs consistently with various verbal suffixes, such as an and in. For example, tasa with the suffix an becomes tasahan, where the stress shifts from the first syllable to the penultimate syllable. Similarly, bili with the suffix in becomes bilhin, with the stress moving to the final syllable. This stress shift pattern also applies to other verbal suffixes. Sulat with the suffix an becomes sulatan, with the stress shifting accordingly. Pasa with the suffix in becomes pasain.
Tagalog exhibits a range of phonological processes that affect how sounds are produced and perceived. One simple phonological process in Tagalog is intervocalic voicing. This occurs when a voiceless consonant between vowels becomes voiced. For example, the word sako, which is sack, is pronounced sako, where the intervocalic K becomes the glottal stop. Similarly, suko is pronounced suko, demonstrating the same process.
A more complex phonological process in Tagalog is nasal assimilation. This occurs when a nasal consonant assimilates to the place of articulation of the following consonant. For example, the word sampu, where the nasal assimilates to the bilabial position, and the word bundok, where the nasal remains alveolar before the stop D.
Tagalog morphology is characterized by the extensive use of affixes to modify the meanings of verbs and other word forms. Here are some examples of how affixes are used in Tagalog. A prefix can be added to a verb group to change its meaning. For example, the prefix added to the root alis forms umalis, or to leave. A suffix can also modify a verb's meaning. For example, the suffix in added to the root bili forms bilhin, or to buy something specific. Infixes are inserted within a root word. For example, the infix into the root sulat forms sumulat, which is to write. Prefixes and suffixes can be combined. For example, mag and an added to the word laro or to play for maglaruan or to play with each other. Prefixes and infixes can also be combined. For example, pag and added to the root punta form pumunta or to go. Prefixing and infixing are particularly common in Tagalog verb morphology. These processes kind of allow kind of a high degree of flexibility and expressiveness in Tagalog.
Here are some common prefixes in Tagalog and their functions. The prefix ka is used with nominal roots to indicate a person associated with the nominal root. For example, ka added to bahay forms kabahay, or housemate. In some cases, the first syllable of the nominal root is reduplicated when using ka. For example, ka added to klase forms kaklase, or classmate, where the first syllable ka is reduplicated. The prefix pa is used with verb roots to indicate causative action. For example, pa added to sulat forms pasulat. The prefix ma is used with nominal or adjectival roots as an emphasizing particle or adjective marketing particle. For example, ma added to ganda, beautiful, forms maganda, very beautiful.
Thank you so much for listening. Over the course of this presentation, we have explored various aspects of Tagalog phonology, phonotactics, stress patterns, and morphological processes. We've seen how the vowel and consonant inventories, diphthongs, and phonotactic rules shape the sound system of Tagalog. We've also examined the importance of stress and how it can change the meaning of words, as well as the various affixes that modify verbs and other word forms. We hope that this presentation has provided valuable insights into the linguistic complexities of Tagalog. We hope you found this information engaging and informative. Salamat sa pakikinig. Thank you for listening.
Again, here are the references that we used to form this slideshow. Thank you so much for listening to our presentation, and we truly hope you enjoyed learning a little more about Tagalog. Thank you.